this is Truth Talk. We are truth-oriented nights out for the promotion of meaningful discussions to foster democracy. At Truth Talk, we believe the force of argument supersedes the argument of force.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this initiative or this show or this program. Um, I'm your host, Atamkang Victor, and today we are introducing you to a project we have been working on behind the scenes. We call it We Go Talk, and we are we are young people who have constituted themselves and go by the name Truth Oriented Knights. Um, we are young people from the region Southern Cameroons, a region which is today known uh, as a split region, which is today known as the Northwest region of Cameroon and the Southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. For over 8 years now, 8 years and counting, this region has observed something it has never observed before. Some still prefer to call it a crisis. Others prefer to call it a war. Um, on a personal note, I think a war is ongoing in this region, and it is a serious call for concern. Along the way, or 8 years into this war or into this crisis, a lot of measures have been taken, a lot of initiatives have come up in resolving the crisis or in resolving the war, but all, most of them, if not all of them, have proven to be futile, have not yielded any fruits. We came together in this initiative to be a different initiative, a different spice in the game, and hoping that with this initiative we might be able to realize something. It might realize a single step towards finding the solutions or towards actually implementing those things which need to be implemented for us to regain our peace and our serenity. So late last year, I came up with this project, and I shared with a couple of friends and encouraged them to join in, and let's do something to change the narrative. Uh, so this early this year, we started working on something behind the scenes. That's in February, and today we are introducing to you the project we have been looking at behind the scenes, and how we have structured it, and how we intend to move forward. Uh, on the panel, I have people as Kwakwa and Ngabu. These are names you most probably are familiar with. These are areas within the region of Southern Cameroons, and we are going to be understanding why we have people in these names. We are going to be understanding why we have some people on audio mode and some people in disguise. Uh, Kwakwa, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Victor, for this singular opportunity where we can discuss, talk, and see how to make a difference.
Uh, what would you say is your inspiration in joining this project, in subscribing to this project, which was presented?
Well, I've been monitoring things online. People talk a lot about this Anglophone crisis. We have beer parlor discussions and all whatnot. And then I noticed there was one young man who was, writing about the crisis, giving analysis, and I was following behind the scenes. And then he mentioned on one of his posts that he thinks that this crisis can be solved, and he has a proposal, he has a plan that he can lay down, he can bring out to solve this problem. And I was like, okay, many things have been done, many things have been tried, but what is this person having that is different from what has been tried so far? And I was like, okay, I was curious. And then he made a post on his status, and I commented, And then when he did the job, he shared with me, and I read the proposal, the project, and the plan. And I said, well, it would be wonderful to be part of this difference, because it was different from any other thing I had heard of or seen so far. Different from the dialogue, different from the Anglophone Congress, and every other meeting that has been held anywhere in the world. So I was like, why not be a part of change? I've been so quiet, so calm, doing nothing about the whole crisis, but it affects me directly. So I said, okay, this one gives me a platform where I can actually contribute in a manner that can bring change. And I said, well, let me give it a try. So I decided to take part in the whole project.
Okay. Why the name Kwakwa, and why the these guys?
Well, first things, I think when this crisis really started getting out of hand in somehow late 2017 and 2018, there was a massacre somewhere in Kakwa, this year of General Ivo, and it came in my mind. And then there was an interview. The then Minister of Communications made a statement after a terrible action that happened in Kwakwa. He made a statement that, bring me Kwakwa, dead or alive, insinuating that Kwakwa was a person, but we all know that Kwakwa is a place and not a person. And I was like, what happened in Kwakwa that this person is talking about, bring me Kwakwa, dead or alive? And so after some investigation, I realized that there was a lot of killing, a lot of bloodshed, and it was a battleground for the crisis. So I think in a way our region is a battleground. So I picked a place where the battle has been fought in with high stakes.
Okay, and we'll like to indicate that these guys is for the sake of anonymity. We realize that in that particular region, Southern Cameroons, people have freedom of speech, but people do not have freedom after speech. That's to say that whatever you say, be it on the government side or on the separatist side, can lead you into serious problems, grave problems, and you don't want to find yourself in that situation where you'll be picked up by either of these groups, and maybe they do away with you or target your family. So, for the purpose of anonymity, which is one of the key stones of this project, because we want people to be able to air out their opinions, and we want young people's voices to be heard, but we don't want them to be a victim of circumstance. We don't want them to be targets, and we don't want their families to be targets. Um, Somebody must stand in front to present this. That's why I do not go by that. Um, but we want to make it clear that at some point, anonymity would be something we are going to do away with, or we are going to declassify information, and people's words which have been said on this platform would be would be pinned on them. People have to be accountable for the things they say and the things they do, and it should not be the fact that people are being cowards, but people are just trying to safeguard their lives and the lives of their families for now. And as the project continues and hopefully yields fruits, we are going to declassify a lot of information. Ngabu, welcome to you, sir. Ngabu?
Yes, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. My environment is not good, as you know, but I'm grateful, and because of my willingness to be part of this project, I cannot afford to stay away, so I decided to join irrespective.
And we very much appreciate that. You are doing a whole lot for us to realize peace in this region by subscribing to this project. But what was that motivation? What was that aspect or that key point that captured you and got you engaged into this project?
My real thing that got me into this project is my desire for peace, and because I have seen how the calamity and the things and happenings around. Everybody knows about it. It's being discussed almost everywhere in beer parlors, like Kwa said, on the roads everywhere. And we know what is going on. We have seen from with our bare eyes, and so we are really clamoring for peace to come and for killings to stop. So whatever it needs to get this done, I think I am in,
Okay.
and that is why I am here.
Yeah, and we know that Ngabo was one of the hot grounds where the massacre of children was done. We know how it happened in Kwakwa, and we hope that with these names it rekindles that desire or that yearn for justice from people watching, people listening. That when they hear these names Kwakwa, it brings them the memories of what happened in Kwakwa. When they hear the names Ngabo, it brings them the memories of what happened in Ngabo, and it would warrant them to ask for justice, because up to today justice has not been served. So the overview of this project was simply highlighting the fact that a lot of initiatives have come and have not yielded the fruits that we intend for it to yield. That's for peace to return to this region. How can peace return to this region? How can we, in our own little way, put together our voices and call on the government to get engaged in the things that would actually yield fruits, like the sincere dialogue, negotiation, which has been clamored for by not just the civil society in the country, but away from the country, international organizations, and all whatnot. So the goals of this project, Kwakwa, if you would present to us the goals of this project.
So for this project, we have main goals and then we have alternative goals. So for our main objectives, is the first is to educate ourselves and the entire world on the history of Southern Cameroons and the crisis in question. You know, people need to get a background, understand context of why we are fighting, what we are fighting, and probably this crisis did not just start in 2016. There was a remote cause. We need to educate the world about this particular aspect of the crisis. Then next, we want to open discussions as to what can be done and how it should be done to achieve peace in these regions, because it used to be peaceful on Anglophone problem, but now there is all white war. So we need to seek a means of how to go back to peace. And then we have alternative objectives. And the first is to build a community of young debaters and negotiators who can influence public opinion from their interactions and outings. It has been an issue with the old. The young people have been out of these discussions. So we want to create a platform where young people can take part actively and positively to bring about a change. Then to raise finances which will be used in running the group's activities and in contributing to humanitarian activities as well. So there's no project that will succeed without finance. So it's an important aspect. So from our own pockets and probably from benefactors who bring out resources that will help to promote and ensure that this project succeeds. Then inspire youth with courage to take action directly or indirectly in relation to this crisis. There are many persons who have something to do, something to say, but lack the courage to actually do it. So with this project, we hope that will inspire persons, encourage them, and motivate them to also act in a manner that can contribute to the realization of peace in the Anglophone regions. Also, to develop and run credible polling systems which will serve as a reflection of people's opinions. I think when we run polls, we will know actual opinions of the public, because as of right now, we don't really know those who are for, what they think about the crisis, if they're even okay that they want what they're asking for, because there are people who have varied views. When we post, we'll ask questions, and then we'll get feedback, and then we can look at the results and say, okay, it will guide our project in the way we want it to go.
Okay. Um, to stay on the point of raising finances, don't you think that a lot of people would see this as, oh, this is just one of those schemes to raise money and put it into private pockets? And I mean, don't you think that people will look at it in that manner?
Obviously, it looks like if it comes to money, and there's a lot of scam and a lot of, what I would say, 419. But I think our project has a design to be transparent, and whatever we receive as financial support from donors, we'll make a list anonymously saying this person has given this amount, this is what we have received, and this is how we have used it, so that the public knows that, okay, this is what they received and this is what they have used, probably for the humanitarian acts or for whatever we will need to carry out our project. So obviously there will be transparency.
Mhm. Okay. The values of the project highlights transparency as one of our cornerstones, and I think that's what you were referring to. And um, we also have it as freedom of speech, and the third value being integrity. I believe with these three values, we should stand out, and we should be able to do things in a very professional manner, and we should be able to do things in a manner which would inspire people to want to join in or want to contribute to this project. So we have exhausted the goals and the values, and the situation analysis was basically highlighting the various initiatives which have been brought up and didn't see maybe the light of day, or in some cases just ended up and we don't know how it ended. We're talking about the Grand National Dialogue, which indeed wasn't a genuine dialogue. It was a sham. We're talking about peaceful protests by groups of women. They usually protest in the northwest region and the southwest region, and it still hasn't yielded fruit. We're talking about uh, the proposals by the NGOs to engage in genuine dialogue, and the government hasn't done that until now. And then we're also talking about the Anglophone General Conference, which was called by Christian Cardinal Toomey, and was shut down, or was it was the permit was refused by the government through her administrators. And then we're also talking about several private initiatives which haven't really realized anything. And we think that this project can stand out and actually realize something. Maybe a single step would be good enough into providing for us this solution. So the model of this project, Pinion, you're very much welcome. Pinion. Realized Pinyin was one of those hot areas as well. When the crisis just started, there was a massacre there. Uh, was it over 20 people killed in a very brutal manner? Uh, the slaughter was terrible. Pinyin, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Victor. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, we
Good evening.
understand that your network is not the best,
I
but
don't know if you guys can hear me because my network is a little.
yeah, we actually can hear you, and we understand that it's not the best, but with the little contributions that you have, we'll appreciate it. If you can hear me, what was your motivation or inspired you into joining the project, and how do you think that we are going to go about succeeding in this project?
Okay, Victor, thank you very much. If I heard your questions very well, if I heard your question very well, because it was a little bit, you're asking for the reason behind being part of this. Am I being heard?
Yeah, though it's
Hello.
correct, it's glitching, but we can pick out a few words you're saying, and we'll try to put them together and make sense of it.
All right. I'll just go on then. My motivation behind joining this movement came from observing, reading, and following up the critical analysis that was being made by Victor on his discourse on his status and Facebook pages. I had never really had the time, like most youths, to sit down and understand what the whole situation was all about because we just felt like it was one of these things that will come and pass, especially when we just started. Just felt like, just one of those internal things, it will pass. But it's been going on for 6 to 7 years now. And like Victor was rightly saying, the situation analysis, everything put forth by different NGOs and individuals have met a lot of resistance. And I'm saying that this movement is a group of youth. I think that coming with putting our minds together as youth with fresh ideas and creative mindsets, we could be able to make the difference. I saw a light, I saw a hope, I saw an opportunity to be relevant to the history of my country. And why not seize that opportunity and contribute in the little or large way that I can to make that change happen and to make peace abound too. Because no matter how we really want to look about it, it's really not only about us. Our children are also going to, come to live in this same kind of country. And is this the state in which we want to welcome them into the country? Is this how we want to allow things to be until they grow up and start suffering the consequences of all of this? Why don't we take action now and make a difference? So yeah, I think basically that's what pushed me out of my comfort zone, out of my place of fear, and out of my place of relaxation to dare into committing into this project.
Okay. The model of this project, the model the project is proposing is that which will bring the government of Cameroon to the dialogue, or rather the negotiations table. And this proposal puts youth at the as the ones championing this initiative. Reason being that the youths have been relegated to the back, or have relegated themselves to the back, like Pinin was saying. And Kwakwa said earlier, we realize that when it comes to political discourse in the country, the youths have not had a significant say. The few who are trying to even speak up are scared of the fact that they can be targeted, like I earlier said. And so the model of this project is bringing the youth to be the ones to champion this initiative and make a difference. So Kwakwa, we have them listed how we are going to go about this. Do you want to look at that?
Okay, so the first will be organizing debates on the socio-political situation being experienced in the Anglophone regions. So the theory we have is that if we engage people in debates that we conduct in a civil manner, like learned persons, people can share their opinions on, give varying views about the situation. And from these discussions, we can resonate in our communities, and people can be influenced to do more than they're already doing. So I think when you see a group of young persons like we are coming to interact and trying to bring out a situation analysis from different points of views, at least we can present the crisis in a different manner from what people know about, and in a way we can force the hands of the powers that be to actually act in relation to this crisis, because as of right now nobody's doing anything about it. It's just talk, 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 and talk. Then these debates, we plan to host them on Zoom. So the debates will be on Zoom, and then probably after the debates we'll publish on maybe YouTube and other social handles. But we don't intend to end only on Zoom. In the future, we do hope that we can apply to have debates in institutions or universities, probably abroad, where we can meet one on one, face to face, and we have these discussions that we have virtually. And we can also invite people who have influence or consequential persons who can come and take part in this debate, make their say. And because when we do it one on one, people get to see how serious we are. And if we get influential persons to come and talk, I think it can turn the attention of the public to really ask questions as to what is going on, why are they doing what they're doing. And when people start asking that in turn, I think people can take actions. Then we this debate will be conducted in two sessions. We'll have the first phase and the second phase, like we have Ale Iritu, where people are given the opportunity to go back and prepare better to come and give rebuttals about what were challenging in the first debate. We can be asked questions or put in positions where we're not comfortable because we don't have the data or the information at the time. But given the opportunity, we can go back, do more research, and come back for Iritu. And I think the Iritu is a period where we can now synthesize in the first debate. And then influencing the young population through social media in particular and the entire media at large to, in their numbers, write letters to the authorities in their various constituencies demanding that the government engages in negotiations. Like what I said, when we debate, we send out content, we send out views, and people will start reacting, and people can call all those in authority and those in power to do something about the situation. The idea is to force the hands of those who are in power, the powers that be, to actually act because nobody is doing anything. Then writing official letters to the international community regarding the situation in the country. Coming from youth, this could be a significant difference which may influence concrete actions. Like I said, the old have been doing stuff, but if the narrative can change that the youth are the one acting now, then who knows? There are organizations out there that tackle such things. Like I was researching and I saw an organization of countries that are actually seeking autonomy, and the other organizations of who are marginalized, and we need to write to these persons, even the UN, that is directly in charge of such situations, to be able to act and do things that will benefit and help Anglophones and help solve the crisis. Like they are talking about, we hear about Syria, we hear about Palestine, we hear about Ukraine, we hear about Israel, but nobody is saying anything about Amazonia. Is it that we're not important, or the blood that is shed here is not ordinary blood, or it's just ordinary blood and it's not as important like the souls that have been lost in the other places that have been mentioned all the time? Then, in terms of financing, we are a non-profit organization who fund this project from several sources, member contributions, and probably from donor, and probably from our content. We will monetize it on social media and raise funds to promote the project.
Okay. So is it safe to say the project itself is that which is just propagating the idea of a Southern Cameroons, an autonomous Southern Cameroons, or an independent Southern Cameroons, as you were highlighting in one of the points? Are we looking at the project just in that light?
No, that would be my personal view. I think, like we said, we were organizing debate. It's a platform where people come and share their views and share their own opinions. I think for me, that was analyzing that point in probably my own point of view. So I think it creates a platform where people come share ideas, and why not debate and reach consensus and conclusions that will give the best outcome for the Anglophones and for this crisis.
Okay. A point he highlighted
If
there.
you permit me, Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to add to what Kwakwa is saying, I think that the primary goal or aim is to ensure that there is peace. So whether the peace comes from independence or whatever would come out as a result of this project, I think the end point we all are driving at is peace, because the absence of peace in these areas of the regions has caused a lot of, how do I put it, a lot of damages. It has brought about a lot of disruptions. So either people are not at peace mentally, they're not at peace with their health, they're not at peace with their neighbors. So there's a lot of struggle and strife everywhere, and it has brought some form of, shall I say, occult hatred between both parties, that's the Anglophones and the Francophones. But I think that if the youth can come and put their minds together and settle down, we can get somewhere where that peace can exist and where true love can still exist, whether we are separated or we are still in one Cameroon.
And thank you
So
for
I think,
raising that
I
that
think
point.
the basic thing everybody should have in mind is that we and the betterment of our.
Thank you for raising that particular point about the hatred which this crisis has caused between these two people who shouldn't at all have this hatred in them. Uh, I don't think the fight has ever been between Anglophones and Francophones. We might elaborate and debate more about this point, but it has never been in that sense. But it is rather causing some animosity between these two people, and it shouldn't be so. We should still be able to like brother and sister hold hands and do things in a common manner, regardless of the fact that maybe we finally find ourselves as two separate countries or in a united Cameroon. I mean, we still have a very good working relationship, like for example with Nigeria. It doesn't mean that we are the same country with Nigeria, but we have very good relationships with individuals from Nigeria. So it shouldn't lead to such tensions and shouldn't lead to such hatred. But this initiative in particular is that which is calling for Southern Cameroonians themselves to mark out a pathway for peace for them, for their ourselves. And we are calling on people of varying opinions, people who have different views, people who stand for a united Cameroon, people who stand for maybe a federal Cameroon or an independent Cameroon, to all come on to the platform and have their take and have their say. And we are going to come to a consensus, as Kwakwa has said, saying that, okay, this is actually what the majority of the people want. Why can't we go for this? Why can't we engage in this talk, in this talk, which is being seen as, oh no, this is a no-go area. We cannot even talk about this. We cannot air out these opinions. Ngabo, if you're keenly listening, what would be your take about this? Ngabo, are you with us? Okay, that could be his network not being the best right now. But we're going to move ahead, and we're going to look at the we're going to be looking at the milestones, uh, what we intend to achieve in say 10 years time, and maybe in even 20 years time or whatever. The milestones of this project. Ngabo. Well, he's not responding. I'm guessing it's the internet problem. So, Kwakwa, would you say continue with the milestones?
So the milestones, we intend that in 10 years, this community of youth will continue, them will continue, will control the media when it comes to socio-political debate. And in 10 years' time, we intend to have politicians turn to our channel as a reference to better understand what the youths want and how to better serve. You know, we're talking about educating the public and the youths taking charge and becoming part of this whole discussion. I think what we want is a fundamental part of this whole project, because we are the future and we are seeking for peace, and our opinions really matter in this journey towards peace. And so any reliable or smart politician in 10 years' time should turn back to the youth and say, okay, what are their needs, what are their intentions, what are their desires? And I think from this platform, we are going to present those kinds of things, and people can refer to it for more details and more information. So we intend to graduate youth from the platform at the age of 50, while encouraging the younger generation to take the mantle. So as a youth have a plan for their future, there comes a time when the youth become adults and have to give way for other young people. That is something that is absent in our world, in our society of Cameroon today, where the old want to stick to power till when they can no longer breathe. But we intend to leave power and give way for the young at the age of 50. Then,
And I want to highlight that particular point, saying that this is one of the very important points that we came up with. Just as Kwakwa was explaining, we don't want to be sick tight people in the communities. If this is a youth initiative, then it is indeed a youth initiative. So we want for youth to take the mantle, because as it said, they are the leaders of tomorrow. We at some point will get old, and we want these youths to get actively engaged in their young ages, so that as they mature, as they get to adulthood and they mature in their reasoning and in their actions, they can be able to lead. They can be able to be the leaders they want to see, or they hope to see in the old people of today, or in the leaders of today. Unfortunately, the leaders of today are the leaders of yesterday and yesteryears. They are the same leaders, sick tight leaders. So this, in a sense, would inspire the community to leave power for a younger generation to be able to make a difference. Pinyin, would you want to continue with the milestones, and let's see where we intend to be?
Okay, Victor. Thank you very much. Am I being heard?
Yes, 5 and
Hello.
5. Yeah.
we're getting you. We're getting you. Right on.
Yes, I can get you.
So people hear me.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, going forward, this is going to be one of the challenges we would have, but we cannot do more than we can do on this particular aspect of internet unavailability. It's a serious problem. It's a problem that maybe at some point we should address. Um, but we are going to make do with what we have, and hoping that as time progresses, we can advance to better means of communication. Ngabo, did you want to look at the rest of the milestones?
I think from now we hope to build a society where the force of argument supersedes the argument of thought, in which we believe that it is by dialogue, it is by negotiation, it is by discussion that we get to solve things. So rather than, like our name, Good Talk, we want to talk about the things, discuss, negotiate, agree, not to disagree. These are the things that we want to be doing in order to acquire the peace that we want. I think that is where that is one of the last
Milestones that we have. Okay. So in 10 years time, as one of the milestones as well, we hope to have broadened our base to not only talk about
milestones.
issues concerning Southern Cameroons, or the Northwest and the Southwest, as some people would rather have it, but we will also be looking at issues concerning countries in Africa, and why not go transcend boundaries and go out of Africa. So we intend to look at this, critically analyze them, give our opinions, give our own propositions to say solutions to problems plaguing the world. With that, we have exhausted what we have as the project, but I would like to give a last word to each and everyone on the panel to say something before we call it a cut. Let's go with Pinyin first. Pinyin, can you hear us? If not, Kwakwa would start.
Yes, Victor, I can hear you very. I don't know if it's the same for you guys.
Yeah, right on.
Okay. I think it has been a good. Okay, thank you. I think it has been a good discourse so far, and to the people who will be listening, to the people who will be together with together, we are stronger. So as we are sharing this with you, we hope that you think about it and that you will join the force. We have already given you what the flag is about, and even so even to who is scared, who is shy, this is a safe set we are identity and not be afraid. It's just
So,
change what to decision to I want to leave. And
so the internet is not the best, and it's kind of glitching as we are listening. But I think the message Pinyin is putting across is encouraging people to engage in this and to be the leaders that they seek or they want to see out there. Be the change, as she's putting it. Be the change they want to see. Ngabo, one last statement from you.
The last statement I can give here is that I think we are on the right track. We are doing the right thing, and it's going to help because we are objective about it. We are leaving no stone unturned to make sure that we get this to the last first stop. So I think a lot of people are out there who are willing to talk, who are afraid to talk or something is holding them back. When they will see us get arguments going forward, saying things, bringing changes, I think they are going to join us and we are going to get where we are because our goal is to involve youth, educate people about the situation they're in, and try to see how we can move out of it as soon as possible. So other people, when they will see this, I think they will be motivated because I know there are a lot of people who are actually creating or have things to say, but they don't know where to say them or how to even go about them. So this is a good opportunity. Let's expose it, show it, our pages, let people comment, let them come in. They are open, they can join, they can say, we can work together and get this project going. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for calling on others to actively get engaged. Kwakwa, 1 minute.
So as Pini was talking, I heard one word about what we are saying here, and there's this phrase we hear about fun time. Think about your life. I think people, our audience, those listening to us, need to think about their future, think about that of their kids, think about the place where they want their future to be. I know it is normal and okay to be afraid, but if you don't take action, they can never be changed. And I want to use the words of Edmond London, a British poet, who says that the greatest evil is for good men to sit and do nothing. Evil can only happen if good men sit and do nothing. I think it is time where we not only sit behind the curtains and watch, but we take the step, act, and do something to make a difference. Thank you.
Yeah, and it leads me. What that statement leads me to is this one made by, I've forgotten, was it a bishop or something during the time of Hitler, when he said they came for, is it the Christians? uh he said they came for the Jews. I was not a Jew, so I said nothing. They came for these people. I was not this, so I said nothing. They came for these people. I was not them, so I said nothing. And then finally they came for me. And when they finally come for you, sorry, it's you they're going with. And I would try to pick that quote again, the person who said it and the actual quote. Yeah, but that's in essence what it was saying. And I'm appreciating everyone who has subscribed to this project and calling on everyone who wants to see a change to be that change and uh, contribute to the success of this project by simply following the page, engaging in the discussions that we'll be having, giving your own opinions, and people who want to go anonymous, send to us private messages, send to us your opinions, and we'll be able to look at them. We'll be able to talk about these things on the show. Thank you very much. We should be having our first debate, open debate, say in a week or two. We are going to make the announcement on our page. We are going to properly communicate this in the event of us having any debate. We are going to properly communicate this. Thank you very much to the panel. And until next time, it is bye-bye from Truth Talk. Truth Talk simply mean being truth talks opposed to knives. And we hope that people would engage in talks rather than in punches or in stabbing others. And with this, we think that we can find the solutions that we seek. Bye-bye.